Alright, this video had to be made in response to the utter fiasco of answers given to a very simple math problem that very few can seem to answer correctly. And the question is, I bought a horse for $900, I sold it for $1,300, I bought it again for $1,400, and I sold it again for $1,700. And how much did I earn? So before you can address the responses and go through the correct approach, I need to first address the confusion on the term earn. Basically, a company's earnings are its after-tax net income. It's basically the company's bottom line or its profit. So in this case, what we're really looking at, and this is just a simple elementary school problem, so we're basically looking at the difference between what he pays and how much money he brought in. So now first, we got to get to the point that this is just a simple elementary school math problem. It's not a study in farm economics. All the people who want to bring up feed, vet bills, taxes, yay for you. But this is just a simple math problem to test math comprehension, nothing more. And a lot of people are just really failing at that. So a lot of people are just answering the question quickly, and when they do that, they're really not doing the math. And so I get it. You see something, you make a quick answer. Others are really dead set on their incorrect answers. And so I want to get into this and try to help people break it down who are a little confused. So first of all, you got to read the problem, understand what's going on. Mr. Horse Trader wants to buy a horse for $900. Nobody knows how much money he has to start with. It's actually irrelevant for solving the math. Some people get fixated on him only having $900 to start with, but they're not reading the problem correctly. Really, none of us know how much money he has to start with. He might have $10,000 in his wallet. He might have only $900. He might have $1,000. We don't know. And so a lot of people are, first of all, getting confused about that and letting that affect their answer. And really, we don't know how much money he's got to start. So don't worry about it yet. It's really irrelevant to the solution. So if he buys a horse for $900, sells it again for $1,300, buys it again for $1,400, and sells it again for $1,700. Okay, already we can tell from that he has bought the same horse twice and sold it twice. Some people aren't really thinking, and they assume, well, it's the same horse. The only thing that matters is what I paid at the beginning, which is $900, and then sold it at the end, which is $1,700. So we must have earned $800. That's ignoring the fact that there were two sales. You can't do that. It doesn't matter if it's a single horse, a two-headed horse, two horses, a goat and a chicken, a baboon and a fish, a leopard and an elephant, two giraffes, a zebra or a donkey. What matters out of all this is that there were two sales, and you can't ignore that. So the proper math, it's right really in front of you in the problem. It's minus 900 plus 1,300 minus 1,400 plus 1,700 equals 700. So the math is really just right in front of your eyes. And it's just as simple as that. There's nothing to add to it. There's no 100 to subtract from that. A lot of people are doing that and getting 600. That's really wrong. People get hung up on the fact, well, he paid $1,400 the second time, after selling it for $1,300, but they fail to understand that $100 is already accounted for. He could have made $800. Instead, he only made $700, and that's because he had to pay that extra $100. So you really just have to go through and do the math, and that's where people are failing here. So first of all, let's just start out with a simple example here. We got let's actually take our horse trader here and say that he's got $1,000 to start with. Okay, he's got $1,000. So he buys the horse for $900, gives that over here to the buyer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so that leaves our guy with $100. That leaves this guy over here 900, and now we have the horse. Okay, so now he wants to sell it for 1,300. So he sells it for 1,300. So he's going to get his 1,000 back. Sells the horse. He's also going to have another. He's going to have 1,300 altogether, and to add into, and he adds the 1,300 in with the 100 he's already got. So that gives him 1,400. Now, if he goes and he buys the horse again, let's say he buys the horse back, he's going to give the other guy 1,400, get the horse back. Now, what's he got? He's got nothing. He's got zero. So now he can't make up his mind what he wants to do. He wants to sell the horse again, so he sells it. Now, this time he's going to get 1,700 back. Okay, 1,700. Now, what did we start with? We started with 1,000. So 1,700 minus 1,000 is $700. And now some people will say, well, gee, what if he didn't have any money? Okay, if he didn't have any, he wants to buy a horse, he would have to borrow 900. And then he sells it for 1,300. Now he's got 1,300. And now he has to pay back the 900 that he borrowed. And now he's got 1,300 minus 900 equals 400. So he's ended up with, he's got $400. He wants to buy it again, so he's got to borrow $1,000 now. So now he's got 1,000 plus 400 equals 1,400. And he buys a horse for 1,400. He's got $0 now. Now he turns around and sells it back for 1,700. Now he's got $1,700. Now he borrowed 1,000, so he has to give it back. So 1,700 minus 1,000 equals 700. So in this example, he started with $0, ends up with 700. That means he earned, or he profited $700. And it's just a simple example.